All right, guys. Dani Williamson. It is Sunday night, and that means that it is Sunday night service.
Absolutely.
And tonight, I am here with my friend Tika Smith, and we are talking cultural literacy versus cultural illiteracy. And we are absolutely thrilled and honored to be here tonight. We are honored that you all are here. As soon as you get logged on, as soon as you get here, hit your heart buttons, let us know you're here, hit your like buttons, and we are going to get started. So we're going to do this a little bit differently tonight because this is a sensitive subject.
It is.
It is.
It's a real subject.
It's a real subject.
It needs to be addressed.
Yes, and it's a sensitive subject, and I typed out a lot of things. I always type out things, but I'm going to read things tonight. I'm going to start off reading what cultural literacy is, what illiteracy is, and I'm going to share some of my blind spots, and then Tika's going to take over.
Okay,
and we're going to do it that way.
Okay.
And we're going to do it back and forth. And Tika, you can share it. You can do whatever on your page right now. But this is a big topic, and guys, give us grace.
And we're going to pray.
We're going to pray,
Is that
too.
okay? Can we pray?
We're going to pray. We're going to pray. But we're talking an uncomfortable topic tonight, right?
A very controversial topic.
That's right. But growth comes
Heated.
from being uncomfortable, right?
Okay.
I grew up in a community with no cultural literacy at all, no cultural diversity, 100% homogeneous white, Caucasian. I grew up believing, Tika, that when I see a black man, he's more of a threat to me than a white man would be. That is cultural illiteracy. I'm guilty of being nervous in an elevator alone with a black man, and I hold my purse tighter while never making eye contact. That is cultural illiteracy. I'm guilty of crossing the street to distance myself from a group of black men that were walking towards me. I remember it well. That is culturally illiterate.
Wow. Was it
I have
taught?
blind
Was it taught?
spots.
What do you think it was taught? Was it taught to you? Was it unconsciously taught?
Yes,
Was it
subconsciously
subconsciously
taught. Yes,
taught?
yes.
Okay.
I have blind spots, and I am willing to address them. I had never thought about those 3 blind spots until this last week, 2 weeks, when we were putting this together.
Okay.
I listened to a TEDx talk today on cultural literacy that Reg Stewart did. He said a comment that clicked with me. Just because something is not happening to you doesn't mean that it's not happening,
Absolutely not.
right?
Absolutely.
Tonight, we're opening up a conversation from the heart on race, racism, literacy, illiteracy, and just simply being a mom, a woman, a friend, a daughter, and a child of the Most High King in 2020.
Absolutely.
Right? Give us some grace tonight as we lean into each other and we truly listen to each other's hearts. Woman to woman, human to human,
Sister to sister.
sister to sister.
Us to
I
you
may
guys.
be, that's right. I may be illiterate on a lot of topics, race, many cultures included, but I'm willing to learn about the issues at hand. We may misspeak tonight. We may say something incorrect, but we're
perfect.
speaking from the heart.
Absolutely.
Right?
And we're being
and
transparent.
I know for a fact that we're being lifted up in prayer right now by every single one of you that are watching. And I'm looking forward to listening to what Tika has to say on this tough subject. But until that, and then I'm going to take over, but we're going to say a prayer right now.
Absolutely.
And those of you that believe in our God or any God,
Yeah.
just pray with us.
Even with the non-believers, just
You bet.
bear with us.
That's right. Bear
Bear
with us.
with us.
Tika's going to start off because she's
All right.
the best prayer around here.
Gosh. Okay.
Woo, Father.
All right. Father God in heaven, we ask that you come into this session today. We come to, before you and before our nation and the viewers of this program tonight. We come with heavy hearts and bow down heads. We ask that you give us grace, and we ask that you continue to give us mercy. We ask that you actually lead the words that come out of our mouth.
That's right.
You said that all things was created by you. All people were created by you.
That's right.
And all the things that were created by you were created with words.
Yes.
So, Father, do guide our words as you also guide our hearts. We thank you for all things. We ask that you continue to love us and to continue to give us this mercy and grace that you continue to bestow upon us. We thank you for all the things that you've done for us in this day and in the days ahead. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Father God, thank you for the opportunity to get to talk to Tika tonight, right? My friend and my colleague. Thank you for the ability to listen, to learn, to lean in, and to learn about each other. Thank you for the grace that will be given by everyone listening tonight. And may we all learn, may we all open our hearts, and may we be wiser and kinder and gentler.
Absolutely.
And be more aware of our blind spots when this is over. In your name. Amen.
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 So guys, listen to me. What is cultural literacy? What is cultural illiteracy? In the next 45 minutes, we're going to break this down for you all to the best that we know and our knowledge. But cultural literacy, it's important to us and the culture that we live in. It is understanding the values, the traditions, the beliefs, the rules, the customs of a different culture, of a specific culture,
Just the
differences,
yeah.
right? Cultural literacy contributes positively to the society in which we live. If it also reduces prejudice and inequality based on culture.
Absolutely.
It increases the value placed on diversity, and it increases participation in the social practices of that society, including access to institutional and services. For example, when culturally literate people have influence and they're in charge of institutions like universities and hospitals and government agencies, they can ensure that people from all cultural backgrounds are able to participate equitably in education and services. That's cultural literacy.
And we call it today affirmative action.
That's right. That's right.
That's what it's called.
That's
Let's be
right. And there's
honest.
a whole talk about that too. So, yes, that's right. Cultural illiteracy, though, quite simply put, in one word, is ignorance.
Absolutely.
But the long definition of cultural illiteracy, right, is not understanding the values, the traditions, the customs, the beliefs, the rules, the politics of a more specific culture, right?
Or even respecting it.
That's right.
Just
or even respecting it. That's
Just
huge. That's right, Tika. That's right.
Respecting it. Just respecting the differences. We you go ahead and keep flowing.
Racism can be
Absolutely.
considered a disease or a byproduct or whatever you want to call it of cultural illiteracy. Cultural illiteracy results in snap judgments, like me crossing the street, holding my purse tighter, thinking I'm not safe, right? Limits our ability to communicate with other people in our society, and it leads to impulse reactions based largely on fear of the unknown.
And based largely on, actually, let's be honest, we're going to be transparent here. What you were subconsciously taught.
That's exactly right. But not only fear of the unknown, just not being interested in leaning in and learning, or not knowing how to lean in and learn about another culture. Cultural illiteracy expects people to do as we do. The white girl from Western Kentucky, right? Think as we think, act as we act, dress as we dress, go to the same church we do, listen to the same music we do. The list goes on and on. Cultural illiteracy has suffocated us. Look at the divided state that we're in right now, June 21st, 2020 in America. Part of that is due to cultural illiteracy.
Absolutely. And we're here to make everyone that we can touch and reach out to literate.
That's exactly right.
We're just trying to get this oneness.
That's right.
And an understanding of the division that is wreaking havoc on our nation.
That's right.
On our people.
That's right.
On my people, definitely.
That's right. And my people.
Yeah, you're
but
going
we're all
through it.
people. We're
going
all
through it.
What are some of the reasons for cultural illiteracy? We grew up in a home with no literacy. Community was homogeneous with little or no cultural diversity. That's how I grew up. Maybe you're a recent immigrant from another country, right? And you don't know. You don't know the culture and the rules and all that. Maybe you had poor schooling with no cultural education. I did. Children of culturally illiterate parents. I think that's huge.
Well, it starts at the house. It starts at the home.
That's exactly right.
What are we teaching our kids?
You bet.
Consciously or subconsciously.
That's exactly right.
So we don't want to. I was telling you earlier. There's this famous rapper, and he says Everybody white ain't prejudiced or racist. So I'm just saying, what are you subconsciously or consciously teaching your seed, which is our future?
That's right. Our future.
We gotta make everyone literate. And to say things don't exist is not the answer.
No, that's right.
It's just to not talk about it and to address it and go face for it. You being that honest and transparent is awesome.
Well, thank you. And
Thank
I sure
you.
do.
Thank
I
you.
sure
You
do.
being that awesome. Yeah, that's awesome to me. You know.
So listen to this.
I didn't know that.
Reg Stewart said, socially constructed racism is the most destructive byproduct of cultural illiteracy. Socially constructed racism is the most destructive byproduct of cultural illiteracy. And so I was reading this website, westernsydney.edu, because I typed in, what is the definition of cultural literacy? And they say, culture is often described as being like an iceberg, right? Culture is. Above the water, and here's what I printed off their website. Above the water are the aspects of the culture that are easily seen and experienced. Language, the language of the culture, the dress, the food, the festivals, the behavior. But below the water, where it's unseen, are the aspects of the culture that those within the culture know and understand. Oftentimes without thinking about it or questioning it. You just know it. We know it in our own culture, but we don't know it, right? Outside the culture.
Absolutely.
That's correct. And so tonight, we're going to listen to Tika's take. I think you need your own podcast called Tika's Take, right?
Take.
That's right.
I
on
cook.
this.
I don't take.
No, you're way more
I'm
than that.
multifaceted. I can do a lot. Okay.
We're going to talk about this, and we're going to bring it down. And there's one thing I want to talk about here. I mean, I have other things, but something I learned when I was watching some videos yesterday. If you were talking to somebody, do you say a black person or do you say African American?
We can answer that.
That's right.
I'm going to answer that.
That's right.
How do we address the other part of our nation? Because this nation, we are one.
That's right.
And we cannot be in denial about that 80% of it was built on the back of slaves.
That's right.
Black people.
That's
so
right.
This is my country. So now I am a colored black woman. I have a brother who's biracial. He identifies as a black man, but his skin is almost like yours, by the way.
What?
Yeah. So do we call him black or do we call him African? Well, tell me. What do you think?
I don't know. I would call him black.
Yeah.
Because I learned something last night.
Tell me what you learned.
So what I learned is when you say African American, you are assuming, culturally illiterate actually, that all black people are from Africa. Right?
Not
Many black people are from Jamaica.
The Caribbean.
Right, they're from the Caribbean.
All of these
They're from
different
France.
places. Absolutely.
They're from Iran.
Absolutely.
They're from Germany. They're from Asia. As Ella tonight, she goes, Asia, Turkey, Germany. She just rattled off to
Absolutely.
me. Right?
Absolutely.
And so many more countries, right? So calling someone African American is culturally illiterate. It really is, because they may not be an African from Africa.
Now the sensitivity. Let's talk about this.
That's right.
The sensitivity. Who's offended?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Who's offended?
is it offended?
I'm not offended. I know what I am.
Okay.
I know what I am. I know where I'm from. I know who my mother was.
Okay.
May she rest in heaven. I know who my father was. And so the sensitivity and the emotions that are running rampant today is the reason why we have a lot of today's issues. We're gonna go.
Let's talk
line
about
by
it. Your turn.
Line by
sis.
line and address these
Your
things.
turn. Tika's on. Tika here. Here's to Sunday night service.
She's got me drinking unsweet wine.
Unsweet wine. It's plain crafted wine. There's no sugar.
But she
in it.
guaranteed it would not give me that temple headache thing. So
that's right. So there we go. Here's to Sunday night service.
She's the master to what goes in the belly.
Jesus drank water and wine, and it's good enough for Jesus. Is good enough for me.
It's good enough for me. It tastes all right, actually.
That's right. That's not
so.
Okay.
The discussion and the topic and what brings us here today, George Floyd. Let's be honest.
Okay.
That's what brought us here today.
Well, we would not be talking about this had
if
it not been for George
the,
Floyd.
The passing of Mr. Floyd.
Isn't that something?
Absolutely. I was telling you the other day, I said, well, it's amazing how this man woke up, brushed his teeth, got his clothes on, washed his body, headed towards work. He didn't know he was going to leave that day, Dani.
No, he didn't.
He had no idea he was going to die that day.
That's right.
And unfortunately, he met his death.
He did.
And then I think he has children. He has children. He has a daughter.
Yes, he does.
I can't say per se, but what do I do? Guess. Was her college paid for? How many people did George Floyd know before he died? Let me tell you how the Father works.
Okay.
The whole world knows him.
That's right. They do now, don't they?
Before he died,
No.
he was not. I mean, I know a handful of people. I don't think the whole world come to my funeral. I said that for a reason, guys. What brings us here today, yet again, is the death of another black person, a colored person.
That's right.
A brown brother. Okay, let's just put emphasis on it. And so there has been discussions, there has been rioting, there has been protest, there has been disagreements. The whole thing has brought up what has always been happening, the division.
Right.
Within our family. When I say family, what do I mean, Dani? Our nation.
Our nation.
Our country. We live here. I'm a citizen here. You're a citizen here. Mm-hmm. You have that beautiful red hair. I don't know if you came from Ireland or not, but I would not dare say go back to your country. So this is our country.
That's right.
This is our country. So within our family, we are still what we call beefing. We've been beefing 1964, the Civil Rights Act. Before then, 400 years of this slavery. Let's get to the nucleus of it. We got to first, as a people,
Okay.
as Dani and as my people, we got to say, hey, we got to get to the point that we cannot deviate from the root. Because I think that's what's happening. I think people are being offended because they're saying, oh, you're acting like it don't exist. It never happened. I'm offended by that you keep acting like this does not still exist in today's world. This guy that had his knee on the guy, I saw nothing but hatred in the core of his belly.
That's
hatred.
right.
I saw hatred. I saw hatred. So the topics that I have on my outline, discussion on the Black Lives Matter versus the All Lives Matter.
That's right.
I've had my white sisters from other pushes, but they're my sisters. They said, Tika, I mean, all lives matter. I get it. We're going to talk about it.
Okay.
The movement, the origin, and the reasoning and purpose behind the Black Lives Matter movement. Mm-hmm. We're going to discuss that.
That's right.
The 1964 Civil Rights Act.
Okay.
The reason why that's important today is because at that point, we said, hey, everybody has equal platform rights. We can't go kill you because you're black, or I can't smack you because you're a white lady,
Okay.
because of your color. The Civil Rights Act.
That's right.
Okay. Hate crime. Mm-hmm. Hate crime. There's frustration amongst my people, amongst your people, because we're all in this together.
Yes.
There's a division. I mean, when your friend's store gets burnt down, you hurt. Mm-hmm. Your heart aches.
That's right.
And you're praying, I hope that mine ain't next. This is affecting, and let's get it straight. I can continue to include you in with the offense because you're still being affected by the division.
That's right.
Right?
That's right.
Okay. So now we are at a point that there is a hate crime that's possibly been committed based off of that 1964 Civil Rights Act.
That's right.
And what that basically says, people, is that I have no right. I think Obama came and piggybacked on it and said, well, I'm gonna include the sexual part of it, the transgender, LGBT, and gay.
Yes.
You know
Lesbian,
what I'm saying.
yes, we have 30 minutes.
So, yeah. So, basically, you cannot hurt, injure, harm, or cause pain or infliction to someone because of their color.
That's right.
Their race and their religion and now their sex.
That's right.
And when you do, here's the part that never happened. And here's what caused a whole uproar because this has been going on. Breonna Taylor, there's a plethora of names.
That's right.
It's been going on. When you do, what is the penalty? So now you got an upset culture.
That's right.
I didn't say a race. I said you have an upset culture.
That's right.
We are humanity. We're not racism. We're here for humanity. We're not here for white, black. We serve a purpose. The nation doesn't exist without the black people.
That's right.
We came, we were brought over here. We didn't come, we were brought over here. We did the textile in the north, we did the agriculture in the south, and we built an economy.
Yes.
We built as a strong America. We did that.
That's right.
The
Yes, you did.
methods were not right and just, but it did happen. So we have to get to a point that we have to get some resolve within our family people. We have to get some resolve. What legislations are going to be provided to prevent this from continuing? This is where we're at. This is where we're at.
Okay.
We got to get resolved.
That's right. Let's get.
Who was the first family?
Who's the first family right now?
Who was the very first family that we know of existence?
Adam and Eve.
Adam and Eve.
Oh, Adam and Eve.
Did they have dysfunction in their
Oh,
family?
you bet they did.
One
Cain
kid
killed Abel.
Killed
right?
the other kid.
Yes,
Can you imagine one of your children killing the other?
Nope, that's right. That's right. They started off dysfunctional.
That was the first mentioning of a dysfunctional family.
That's right.
Even when Eve did what she did, they wasn't beefing.
Yeah.
Adam, until they had children.
Right.
And then the children
Right.
came up with this dysfunction, and that happened.
That's right.
White or black, I don't know too many people who are excluded from having dysfunctions in their family.
That's right.
So we have dysfunction right now, and it's called racism.
That's
and
right.
it's called and it's causing division. And we got to come up with some resolve to get this taken care of.
That's right.
So these people, my people, won't continue to get killed.
That's right.
And there is nothing done. Third degree murder. I've never heard of third degree murder. Go ahead. But go ahead. Let's go. So you want to go first? And
No, you go.
Okay,
'Cause we got 30
discussions on
minutes.
Black Lives Matter versus All Lives Matter.
Okay.
It was innocently asked to me. I don't think that the person that asked me was racist or prejudiced. I
No.
think they didn't know.
Right.
Well, what's the big deal? Black Lives Matter. I'm a Christian. I love all people. I've dated black people. Don't all lives matter? Well, this is true. But as we know, and we're literate, we know that the hashtag means there's emphasis put on something. So
Right.
why was emphasis put on this quotation, on this phrase? Black Lives Matter. Apparently, this is common sense. I don't have to be Einstein, but somewhere along the line, the black life didn't feel like they mattered.
Right.
And I have to put some emphasis on this. I got to keep screaming this because this has been going on for 400 plus, actually 600 years. 600. So now I got to just, we're living in a day of social media. I got to hashtag this. I got to say, I matter, Black Lives Matter. And this does not belittle your life mattering. Now, someone could have said, Americans matter. All lives matter. The focus was put on the black life because of what was happening to the black life.
Well, in one specific life at the time, but that's
That's
slogan,
what created
that
it.
hashtag, that slogan
Was birthed.
I don't know if it's slogan is the right word or not to use the right phrase, but that was
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon Martin.
Trayvon
yes,
Martin was killed in Florida.
That's exactly right.
By,
So we
the
know
guy, I don't know.
that's
I'm not
right,
giving
and
glory
that's
to
where
him.
Black Lives Matter
originated.
So
Three people, three
that's
activists,
correct.
absolutely. And so now it has become a movement. It was it was it started down there because the kid got killed.
That's right.
And shot down. Cultural illiteracy because he had on a hoodie.
That's right. That's correct. So we know how it started, but when people say, I understand Black Lives Matter, but all lives matter.
So now there's an offense.
Right.
And then you have the person who said that, they're offended. So now here we go with this division again.
Right. And I understand so much. That one I don't, and I got called out on that one because I said, I believe as Jesus died for a relationship, not a religion. I believe he died for all lives.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
And so my cultural illiteracy, although I still have a hard time with that one, and I'll be honest, and I think a lot of people do. I understand Black Lives Matter, but I understand all lives matter. All lives, Filipino, white, Black,
I got a good.
Asian.
I'm gonna help you.
And so
I'm gonna help you because
I know I'm not the only person.
You're not the
I know
only
many
one.
people who
You're
say,
not the only
because
one.
I think that's a huge division right now on that one. And so,
And it's
but when I
causing
say
exactly
that
what it's
all
targeted to
lives
do,
matter,
cause division, honestly.
I know, and we don't need division because you talked about this, about
Absolutely.
we're all humans.
We're gonna address that. I'm gonna tell you something that'll make it. I hope this might help. So let's use someone. Okay. The life expectancy of any human, a white person versus a Black person. Let's say people can live to 92 at the most, the latest,
Something like that.
92. 40 years of their life. Let's say a woman. Let's use a woman. We're gonna use sexes here. She was abused. 40 years. She was abused. She couldn't tell anyone. She was raped. Let's say by her husband. Black or white. These two women were abused for 40 years. All right. So then she goes to work. She covers up that she was abused and that she's been abused for 40 years. Thank you, Father. She gets out of this.
Right.
She gets out of this. But for 40 years, she was abused, Dan. So now, tell me, does her life change because she's out of it? Does she forgive? But does she forget?
No, never.
It's not possible.
No.
It's not even logically. It doesn't
Right.
make sense that you're going to forget that you lived that life for 40 years. A kid, let's use a kid. This happens. Molestation happens.
That's right.
A child is molested from 3 years old up till 10 or 15. Do they forgive? They have to go on with their life.
That's right.
But do they forget?
No, never.
Slavery, 400 years. I told you this. Of me being told, go in there and sleep with the master.
That's right.
Come on out, have the master some pretty little beautiful mixed kids. And oh, by the way, you still got to go out there and sleep with your husband. And every time you're pregnant, you don't know if you're having a mixed baby or your black baby. 400 years? Can you imagine? I really can't even imagine your standpoint as a wife of that husband.
Right.
And
right.
you knew what was going on.
Right.
And you had to sit there and watch your husband do that. So what happens is the psychological impact of slavery, we can see is still prevalent today. So if I'm still being told or showed that my life is not important,
Right.
I gotta scream, my life matters.
Right. Right.
Your life has not been shown that it was unimportant.
Right.
As a white woman.
That's right. So Black
I'm
lives
sorry.
do matter. That's
And
right.
and that's the hashtag. It's just,
That's the
I need to
hashtag.
put emphasis on I matter. My brother matters. My son
right.
matters. I asked you, I said, did you have to teach Jackson? I love her son. He's gorgeous. I have to teach, did you have to teach Jackson, put your hands on the steering wheel?
No, I did not have to teach Ella or Jackson that, but for sure the son, right?
Absolutely,
That when if
the
he's
male.
pulled over. That's correct. No, I didn't. We got.
Okay.
I
And
did
so
not.
That is why there is a difference of opinion and a difference of views, because the one word that everyone is that's eluding everybody is empathy.
Right.
Empathy
for each
empathy.
other.
Yeah, you gotta have empathy. If I put myself in your shoes, then I can see where you're coming from. Empathy. Now that doesn't mean you're a bad person, because you are correct. Every life does matter. I would not want you to go through halfway. I don't think you could walk in my shoes.
Never.
So good Lord. So definitely this is where the hashtag versus all lives matter. We wanted to address that. We did want to address that.
Right.
The movement, the origin, and the reasoning and the purpose behind it, we just also addressed.
Right.
Okay.
That's right.
Slavery itself, hatred. I think you asked a really very intelligent question the other day. Who was the first person who thought of that? Who said let's go over to Africa and bring them over here?
That's correct.
We got an answer.
We got an answer from her brother, Sir Francis Bacon.
Oh, you remember the name?
Well, yes.
Oh, look at you.
Because I went to school with a Bacon. His last name was Bacon. I remembered it. So, yes,
guy.
and I did. And so we're not talking about that tonight. But yes, I asked. I was never taught the history of slavery. Who brought the first slaves across the pond,
to Virginia,
right? And Tika actually didn't know.
I did.
Tika had to ask her brother. And he's very literate on everything.
Yes.
The things he said just made the hair stand up. But anyway, that being said, we need to know. I challenge you all to read that. Learn that. Learn what happened. Learn why they went over there. Why he brought.
Well, that's important. I want to say that real quick. My brother also put emphasis on the fact that the reason why the slaves were even brought over here was for one reason only. Unlike any capture of a people, even with the Jewish people, let's go even back to the Bible, the Egyptians and them. Guess what? No race, no culture was done the way we were done.
Right.
And they were all liberated, and we weren't liberated.
That's right.
But the thing is, Sir Francis Bacon, he was from London. He wasn't even an American.
Right.
And he came and he said, hey, you know what? To build your nation and make your economy strong, you're going to have to build it like this. So at the end of the day, we're here. We were brought here. We were brought over here. And what happens is they says, well, 1776? Emancipation or freedom?
Oh, yes. Oh, I thought you were asking. Yes.
Okay. So were we all really free?
No.
Slavery was still going on.
Yes.
4th of July, 1776, it was still slavery going on. So what happens is, even though all those years, even up to that point, we have this act, but now it's a psychological thing.
Right.
We were talking about the hood.
That's right.
Why, Dani said, I used to get food stamps.
5 years.
And why come people ain't stopping, and I did, and
I stopped. I worked my way up. Right, and we had this conversation.
And
that's why, food stamps were originally designed for people short-term, right, problems, right, short-term hard times, right, and go in, get yourself together.
Well, we're
and that's
people.
what I
Look
did.
at what you said. It was originally designed for a short-term.
And I don't know the history of food stamps, so don't hold me to
but
that.
But no, it wasn't designed for that, though. See, but that's called literacy. It was designed to cushion the aftermath of slavery. Because what do I do if I keep enabling you? Ooh.
Right.
Ooh. Now I'm going to judge you because you're living in a project.
Right.
Which actually #projects. And in those projects are your people who have limited education, because I would kill you back in the day if you even read a book.
Right.
Who are not allowed to have their fathers.
Right.
So now you're in a broken home.
Right.
And now there's a generational curse that's just continuing.
Right.
And I'm going to, guess what? I'm going to pacify you. I'm going to give you some food stamps and some welfare. Matter of fact, I'm going to let you live in the project, let you pay $30 rent a month. And then, by the way, your rent is going to be possibly free if you don't work at Burger King or something. And by the way, you don't even have a light bill or a water bill. I'm empowering you to do what? Make your own?
No.
I'm enabling you.
And
so then, now I'm being judged by a culture who doesn't even know that that's happening. They don't even know that that's happening. I'm going to keep up with the data and the numbers, and I'm going to see how many people get out, how many people continue to kill each other. That's your question for when you said, well, the people in Chicago are killing each other. Well, they're in a same system that was designed for self-destruction. Which one of their mamas said, I'm going to invest in your education to make sure that you can get... Who invested in your education?
Well...
Did you come
I paid for my way through
You paid for your way through school?
No one paid for my way through school.
Who taught you that those morals?
My parents. Yes, my parents.
Were they together?
No, they divorced when I was in second grade.
Second grade. Did they work together?
No.
They didn't work together? They fought?
Yes.
Okay.
So
Okay,
yes,
I'm
yes,
sorry.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
So
yes,
anyway,
yes,
so
yes. That was a bad situation. There
Yeah,
was a child
sorry.
molestation going on, lots of abuse, all kinds of things.
And you
And I
made
was
it.
the exception, not the rule, because I
Ooh.
knew for a fact that I was gonna get out of there. So there was something different inside of me right there. It was like, I'm out of this. I'm done. I'm
Me
going
too.
up. Right?
Me
You
too.
too. You
Me
were
too.
the same way.
Me too.
I know that. So
Me
what's
too.
different about that? I mean, what is that? You know, it does. That's not white or black or
Well, what-
any other race.
that's not.
just internal.
That's
That's
not.
an internal fire.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
So
I was determined. I was even told you're going to be just like your prostitute mama. And
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah.
I was
I said,
told
no,
about
no,
the
no, that's
second
not
step
true.
there.
That's
You're not
not
gonna
true.
amount to anything.
I
You're
said, I'm going
just
to make you
a
all
loser.
out of a lie. I would never even smoke a joint.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I didn't right here today. So, I said that to say, like she just said, there's the majority to the rule, but there are exceptions to the rule.
There are.
So, when you've got food stamps, I've gotten food stamps.
That's right.
We've worked hard to be where we are today.
That's right.
And then I was told you today about that story. There's some people just don't have that option. Now, do we have this sympathy thing that we say, well, you know, woe, poor is they? And what can we do? Legislation needs to be changed.
Okay.
Ideologies need to be changed.
Okay.
People should not be quick to judge.
That's right.
What is the scripture? Where's the scripture? You can't be quick to judge. So, there were amendments that were made by our ancestrally forefathers.
That's right.
George Washington and all them.
Right. Right.
And the 13th Amendment says, this is deep. The 13th Amendment says the words that are being used, our keywords, are only instrumental and keywords for people of color. Believe it or not. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah. It basically says, for it is not, it basically talks about neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except as a punishment for crime. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude except for a punishment of crime. So if you commit a crime, you can go back to slavery. What's a form of slavery today? You know why black people say, well, all the prisons are full of colors and blacks. How much do they make an hour?
I have no idea.
25 cents.
Okay. I didn't know that.
Who does it service? Our America. That's a form of slavery.
Yeah.
I'm getting work and labor out of you for 25 cents an hour, and then it's going to benefit the country. So, but at either rate, women prison too. They don't do the things that the men do, but those jobs can be out here. But so the thing is, it's just all generational. We're all caught up. And
So how do we
knowledge is
change it
power.
though? Then how do we change it? Because that's the question: is how do you change it? What do we do to change it?
Love, family, and America is whose nation?
Our nation,
Black and white.
black and white.
I have black and white sisters
Brown.
and brothers. I have brown sisters
That's
and
right.
brothers. Hatred. What is it? Where did it stem from? And is it ever warranted? When Jeffrey Dahmer goes killing up all these people, is there a hashtag created for him and for your people? How about Ted Bundy? Timothy McVeigh? Are you judged and saying, oh, those are savages? Those are uncivilized people.
Yes, they are.
But
You are right.
it's no emphasis put on it, Dan.
And there were movies made out of Ted Bundy. Remember, he was beautiful. He was a good-looking man. Apparently brilliant, smart, like just a really, right? And apparently very handsome. I don't know. I never saw the movies or read the book or anything, but he would, yeah. So it's almost as if they're celebrated. I get it.
But the point is that there's lives that were taken.
That's right. That's
And
right.
just like when our lives are taken, it's felt just like, you know, it's I mean, why is it a contrast when it's done versus
That's
the
right.
color?
That's right.
It was still a life.
That's right. It was. Absolutely, it was.
Okay, we got a question.
No.
Okay. So we addressed that, and then we're going to address the delinquency. Delinquency is a business.
Ooh.
Delinquency
That's
is a
good
business.
Really?
Absolutely.
Well, tell me
Absolutely.
why.
I'm going to tell you why. No delinquency, no dysfunction, no housing projects, no drugs, no gangs, no police. We have order. So I got to keep this system going. When I say I'm talking about our system, whose who's not doing what they really can do to stop it, to empower. Okay, so we have delinquency. Delinquency is a business. It is a profitable business as well as a dysfunction. It is supported. It is supported, Dani. It is supported. Who is it supported by? It is supported by Congress. I promise you, I got great attorney friends. Some of the most high-profile attorneys in Nashville, and they don't have a job without delinquency and dysfunction.
That's right. They don't.
Okay, so, but then you'll turn around and say what? Look at them acting like savages. Delinquency is a business. It is fostered and watered by the magistrates and the community leaders, heads of our economy and our nation. So you say, well, okay. One thing I'm going to tell you, this is not black or white. We're not going to run up in nobody's school and kill nobody.
Black people are not.
Believe black people are not. Absolutely. We're not. Hasn't
That's
happened.
right. Hasn't happened, has it?
We don't do that. We don't do it. We'll kill our own. And I promise you, any brother, any gang member that's killed another gang member, and you were asking me about that the other day in Chicago, they didn't kill him because, I'm going to kill you because you're black. Do you judge the lion for eating?
No.
That's his way of life. That's his culture. That's all he knows. He's a lion. He will eat your face off. You come in his... That's all he knows. He is, I'm killing you. I'm going to... The respect is given in the wilderness.
You bet.
Them animals leave. Here comes the lion.
That's right.
That's what he does.
That's right.
You have a community full of lions. What are you expecting? Now, I know they say, well, okay, well, let's do gentrification. Let's clean it up. Let's knock down the projects. Let's build something better. So where do they go?
I don't know.
Where do my people go? What do you
So
give
what do
them?
we
What
do? So
offer?
honestly,
Education.
that's the bottom line right there.
Education.
That's it, Tika. That was a great segue into education. So what do we do? What do you do? What does your family say? What do you say? Because you're, what do you say? What do we do? How do we fix this?
I have, it starts at home.
It starts at home.
We have to have accountability.
It starts at home.
We're going to have transparency and realness. It starts at home.
Yes.
For my brothers and sisters that have biracial families.
That's right.
Multifaceted families.
Yes.
For my black brother and sisters that have, we need each other.
Yes.
We need our men at home.
Yes.
We need our men at home. We need our fathers. We need that accountability from our parents. The parents, we need this.
You bet.
All
cultures need this. But
absolutely.
specifically, we're talking, yes.
We need this. We
yes.
need this, and we don't need our brother to be attacked.
Yes.
We need him to be empowered.
Yes.
We need whatever exercises or whatever constraints that he's had on him
right.
to be released.
Lifted.
Absolutely. The judging to be released.
That's right.
We don't need to be targeted. We do, unfortunately. I pay the bills of people that killed my people. Taxes.
Right. That's right.
I pay taxes to kill your people too if they get mad enough. I mean, I'm just telling you. So that's a hatred. That's a deep core rooted hatred.
Well, education is key, and like
education
you said, starting at home.
Well, let's
start at
let's
home.
reform the police and let's take their checks and let's if my house gets shot up, I'm calling 911. I'm sorry. So, but well, I am gonna call 911. What do you think I'm gonna do?
Mm-hmm, that's right.
So
would I.
So if your house is not gonna get shot up.
But
she always says she lives in the hood.
Oh, stop, Tika! Don't say that. That's actually culturally illiterate. That was another thing that I found out about myself.
That's okay.
But we gotta because you say that. Yeah, but
it's okay.
Still,
I mean,
well, I do. I live in a very culturally diverse.
That's what she meant by hood.
And I live in a working class. Do I not?
Absolutely.
I mean, if people knew where I live,
that should not have been offensive. So hood stems from the word neighborhood.
Okay.
Okay. So you just kicked off the neighbor, and you just got hood, and we have hood. Okay. It's not a bad thing.
Okay.
Okay. And now if I say ghetto, Dennis never said she lives in the ghetto.
No, I live in the hood.
Okay. So
Tika told me. Well, anyway, it doesn't matter. But
so we definitely have to educate. We have to empower our people. We have to educate our children and our children's children.
Yes.
We have to let them know that racism does exist.
Yes.
And where it stemmed from.
Yes.
And the root of this.
Yes.
And it came from a hatred and a core of evil that was not right.
That's right.
And we also, we have to let our families know. We have to have this talk. We can't continue to act like this doesn't exist or these people are just overreacting. Oh my gosh. This happens. Empathy. We're going to use that word again. Just put yourself in that person's shoes. And then you will be able to relate. Now, I'm not in agreement with any, what was it? Looting or rioting?
Rioting.
Right.
Looting as well.
I'm just
breaking in integrated family medicine.
I'm on the cusp of trying to have my own business. How dare
That's right.
Black or white. So no, I'm not. No, I don't support that. I do support what George them said: freedom of speech. You have the right to picket or
protest.
You have
the right to protest.
Absolutely,
you do not have the right, as your brother said. No one should loot. No one should destroy someone else.
But then he broke down who it was that was looting.
Okay, well, you can share that. I'm not.
Who are the looters? Who are the rioters? Wow. I would like to play it, but okay. No. So we said
she's saying it. I'm not saying it.
So, we're in the middle of an election. And I learned something the other day. You learned something too. Uh-huh. A person votes as their pocket floats. Ooh. A person votes as their pocket floats. Mm-hmm. What does that mean, Tika? You have two white men running. Mm. It's not a black and white man running. This is not Obama and somebody. This is two white men running.
Right.
Then you have two cabinets here. You got Republican and Democrat.
Yes.
The Republican right now is the president of the United States.
Yes.
How did he win? He lost the popular vote.
Yes.
But he won the electoral, right?
Yeah.
But what happened? You vote as your pockets float.
Right.
If you have a mortgage, tax paying, you have a job, a 401k, you know that you are accountable and responsible for the mouths, your children's income and food on their plate and the lights that burn in your home.
Yes.
Your objective and your agenda is your income. This whole thing is going to really boil down to one thing, guys. God doesn't change and numbers don't change. These are the two things that go on and on forever. I don't even know where you can stop at if you count. You can't.
Right.
It's infinity. So what am I saying? You vote as your pockets float. Now, what does that mean? So the rioters, the looters, who has something to lose, who doesn't?
Right.
Who has something to lose, who doesn't? So I'm upset. I'm emotionally charged about the events and the continued attack. I'm not going to go break no windows.
No.
Because I don't want no charge.
That's right.
I can't afford to get a charge because I have a home I got to run.
That's right.
A charge means I can't afford to be arrested.
That's right.
I can't afford to have a record or an arrest record.
That's right.
Does that mean I'm weak to my culture and my people? Whoa, depends on which one of them you ask. No. 80% of my protesters were white. And so we're not going to say a black person is not financially set or fit because they rioted. Mm-hmm. We're going to say 80% of the people that were protesting were white. So if you're going to look at the color, look at also the age. Mm-hmm. That's important. Mm-hmm. I don't think your age group was down there.
My age group? No. 54 to 65. No, not too many.
We're 40 on down. How about 40 on down? So what happens is today's culture in the millennial generation, identifies with my culture, my
That's
black
true, they
culture.
do.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
They were
They sure
raised
do.
on the hip hop culture. They
That's
were
right.
raised on the Lauryn Hills and the Little Babies and the Dub Babies and the Megan Thee Stallion. Not that I turned you on to her the other
But
day.
he also said, your
But-
brother also said that those people, they were not the ones getting up going to work the next morning, right?
Absolutely
At a job,
not.
to
Absolutely
a job,
not.
right?
Because they were on camera getting filmed.
That's
us
right.
looting.
That's right.
Who can afford to do that? Not me. I have a beautiful daughter. She said, "Mom, I'm going to go down here and I'm going to support this cause. I'm going to come home as soon as I get through feeding everybody and giving them their drinks." I
And
was
she
worried
did
to
come
death.
home. She didn't
Absolutely, I was
riot.
worried to death.
She
Yeah.
protested. She
Absolutely.
didn't
She
riot.
protested
But she
for-
also came from a home that had God in the center of it.
Absolutely.
And I
not to
think
say that
that
these
when-
people don't have God, but it's just, again, that word literate versus illiterate. Not that we're calling anyone dumb, but what we're saying is there has got to be another way.
You bet. And they may have God in their life, but the
Yeah.
majority of those, as we discussed, probably weren't raised in the people who were looting and rioting. I mean, the ones who were
My
destroying other
biggest challenge
people's
as a
property.
parent. What are your biggest challenges as a parent?
Oh, I got lots
as
of
a
challenges. but
parent,
wait,
as a
we
parent,
got 10
as a
minutes.
black parent, a black
Yes.
mother, my biggest challenge is to teach my kids how to control their emotions.
You bet. You bet.
Because we
You
all
bet.
have them, right?
That's right.
So I want them to always, if I die tomorrow, I want them to always be able to say, "Mama taught me logic over feelings." Because if I overreact out of my feelings, I gotta be a thinker. It's just kind of like what chess.
You gotta be a thinker.
It's
You
chess.
bet you
It's
do.
chess. This is chess. So,
Well,
What-
cultural
what-
illiteracy leads to the things we talked about, the snap judgments, the snap actions, even,
well, how emotions lead to that.
that's right, emotions.
I've been offended leads to that.
That's right. That's
so
right.
you're going to get your building got burnt down and the windows got broken. You're going to get that if I'm not taught or I have not learned that I got to do something else.
That's right.
I gotta do
So,
something. Did we not have that with not Martin Luther, even Martin Luther, and also with Malcolm X?
Malcolm X.
These movements they existed. We're still going through this, and we're still going through a certain type of oppression, but we're still going through the same type of division. Gosh, what is going on? Why are we still going through the same thing?
Because we keep doing the same thing over and
No,
over.
because no
What's the
one wants to be
definition?
literate to the fact
That's right.
that it existed first. We got to
That's
say,
right.
hey, this is a problem.
It is. That's right.
Can't address a problem if you don't acknowledge that it exists.
That's right.
Biggest trick Satan had was saying he didn't exist.
That's right. Isn't that something? And, so all that being said, we're going to talk about what we can do and all, but, I was going to get to a few things that we had talked about earlier. Studies show that a black name on a resume,
Like mine?
will hinder you getting an interview.
Wow.
If they have a name like Shatika, right? Or Laquita, or Shaquana, right?
Friend Zata, that's my sister. May she
Oh
rest in
dear.
heaven. Friend
Or
Zata.
like my sister Tika here, she's more likely to not get the interview than a name on a resume like Danielle. Right? That's cultural illiteracy.
You know
right
something
there.
I learned?
That's
I
cultural
learned a trick.
illiteracy. What?
Because I do have that name.
You do.
Okay. And so I used to just say, because there's a box. It says, or other races.
Yes.
So I just pick other race. I'm black mixed with something.
Oh my word.
I would say
So-
black. I think it said something like black another race or
Right,
something
right,
like that.
right.
But
So that's true. That is true. And I challenge you, those of you that are in human resources or you own your businesses and you hire and things, you really have to think that way. And yeah. I mean, you do.
well, I've been blessed, man. I'm going to tell you.
Yeah,
I have some ladies watching right now over HR departments
Yes.
and big corporations, and they hired me, and they were white ladies with my name Shatika. But then guess what the difference was?
What?
They love the Lord.
They love the Lord.
They knew.
So the
they
women
know,
who hired her.
they know
That's
we have
right.
a creator. And
But we can also love the Lord and be culturally illiterate.
Absolutely.
I can tell you that.
Absolutely.
So Tika, and so I was listening to Matthew McConaughey yesterday, and I love Matthew McConaughey, as
We
do
all do.
you. We all do. And he was talking about white allergies, right? And don't Google white allergies because it comes up. Black people have more allergies than white people. I mean, I was laughing so hard today because it was something
said
he made
that?
up. No, Matthew. No,
was
when you
just saying
Google
it.
I Googled what are white allergies because I knew what he was talking about, but I just wanted to see what the internet said. Well, it's not even up on the internet yet. It's such a new word, a new thing. It's talking about black people's seasonal allergies and food allergies is what it's talking about. But what he's talking about, what are your white allergies? He was talking about the blind spots. Basically, the blind spots in your life, right? We all have them. Such as, you are absolutely beautiful for a black woman.
Oh, that's an allergy.
That's a white allergy right there. Or he talks so well for a black man.
Let me reverse it. Or, because we're not always pick on you. Girl, you thick to be a white girl. You cute.
Say that. Better laugh.
So, you thick.
So
thick means cute, by the way, guys. And
So
that's for the people who don't know.
be a
But
black allergy.
That could be a black allergy.
Well, so it's right.
It's both
right?
ways, believe it
Look
or
how
not.
well he dresses for a black man.
Look at her bringing that food in. She got cats. You didn't even know that one. You didn't know that one. Black people be like, I'm not eating that food. They got cats. The hair shedding. Ain't nobody eating nobody's food in the potluck.
That's got cats.
That's what,
Good
that's what they
Lord.
say. Girl, does she have cats?
Oh my gosh, I didn't know.
See, you
So
didn't
those
know
are your
that.
white allergies,
Black
right?
and white allergies. Black and white allergies.
He went to a great
Stereotypes.
school for a black man. I mean, what? Those are things that we say and don't even think.
Yeah.
Don't even think, right?
Absolutely.
And those are what
Absolutely.
he calls white allergies or black spots. And I've been guilty of those things. I don't, not so much now, but I have in the past said things. Absolutely. And also, and I just can't think of the black football player who now has the YouTube channel that my friend Julie Naughton sent me a link to. Oh gosh, what's his name? He's football and it's uncomfortable conversations with a black man. And Matthew McConaughey was on there, but he was talking about what's the danger, Tika, in raising your children colorblind, where you say, oh, I raise my kids so they don't see color. They don't see color. He said, absolutely not. If they're colorblind, they won't see danger when it's present. You don't want to raise colorblind children. It's the color that makes us the children of God, he said. Don't raise them colorblind. Raise them culturally literate.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Don't raise your kid. Don't say your kids don't know color. That's crazy.
Absolutely.
Of course we do. So, what are we going to do? How are we going to start to, on our own world, in your own life, every one of you that are watching tonight, right? How are we going to reverse cultural illiteracy to cultural literacy, right? These are things that I came up with, right? Stop assuming that just because something racial is not happening to you,
That it's not happening.
it's not happening at
Absolutely.
all. All right, don't assume that ever. Get outside your comfort zone, people. Figure out what it is that makes you uncomfortable and go do it, right? And I'm talking race-wise here, not go jump out of an airplane or something like that. I'm talking about get out of your comfort zone. Get yourself into another church of a different culture, right? I mean,
just go visit.
Don't visit. That's what I mean. Don't go join it. But I mean, you can go join. Don't send me nasty emails over that. I mean, go get outside your zone,
Just go
right?
see the difference.
Go.
It's a different
go
culture. It's
to-
a different
That's
atmosphere.
exactly right. Go to some of the
I promise
restaurants
you.
you wouldn't normally eat at, right? Go to a nightclub if you do that. I don't. Get outside your comfort zone. By the people, for the people should never be by some people and for some people.
Absolutely not.
Get outside your comfort zone. Lean into learning about other cultures, traditions, and views. And you won't be sorry about it. Guaranteed. And here's the thing. Be honest with your friends on your blind spots, right? I'll talk to Tika about stuff.
We've been doing this before this happened.
Long before this, I've been talking it out because, again, I grew up in a 100% Caucasian county in Western Kentucky, 100%. And so I didn't know, talk it out, have the hard conversations, be able to disagree, but not in anger, learn
Not
in
be
education.
emotionally high strung.
No, because when you don't know, you don't know. And so
Yeah.
you can't be held accountable for something you don't no.
For the
right?
for the subject of, well, it wasn't me who did that and bought you. That's got to be addressed, because there are people who say that.
I know
Well,
that.
get over it. It happened. I mean, you're here. You're in America now. But
Right. So I'm not. You shouldn't. Don't blame me because don't.
my
I didn't
ancestors.
have a slave. Right. That's
Yeah,
what.
that's
I
what
didn't
I've
have
heard
a
people
slave.
say. I've
I
heard
didn't have a
people say
slave.
that.
My
Yeah.
family doesn't have slaves.
Yeah,
Why are you angry at me? I didn't have anything to do with this.
yeah, I've heard people say that.
I know
You've
that.
heard it? Yeah,
I know.
and they feel that way.
Right.
They feel that way, and that again is cultural illiteracy.
That's right.
Because you're not aware, or you can care less
That's right.
that you can care less that it just even happened.
That's
That-
right.
that, like I said, look at how many years of an impact.
That's right.
That you can't even get psychological counseling for that.
That's right.
Dr. Ruth and Guth and whoever,
Dr.
Bill, or
Ruth,
none
she's
of them.
on sex.
None
Okay,
of
we
them.
have a whole nother night.
None of them can
Anyway,
help.
when you're exposed to more cultures, you learn, right? Expose
Absolutely.
yourself, people.
Absolutely.
Travel to other countries. I went to Indonesia by myself 2 summers ago. Traveled for 2 weeks in Indonesia alone. I made some cultural faux pas. Let me tell you, I did because I didn't know, but they didn't hold me accountable. I mean, good gosh, when you're learning, when you're trying. So here's the thing:
love it
other
that you're
cultures
trying.
know when you're trying, and when your heart is real, and when your heart is pure. They know that. They know that, and you may make a mistake, and you may say something wrong, right? But other cultures know. I mean, just like learning to speak English. I know when my Hispanic friends are learning to speak it and they're making all kinds of mistakes. Oh my goodness, there's grace there. But get out, travel, learn, read, go to a different church, right? Again, I said, Joyce Meyer says Jesus didn't die for a religion. He died for a relationship.
Absolutely.
I am a big believer in getting out there and starting relationships, right? Cultivating community. That's my whole charge in life. When I die, I hope that when I die, that my legacy is that I cultivated community. You know, because that's a big deal for me.
You know what?
It's a big deal. And I didn't come from a town that did that. I didn't, and I'm talking community of all people in my own neighborhood, you know, my own family, cultivating community in my family, but for sure with other races. And my neighborhood, you know, this is Hispanic, and it's African American, and it's Black, and it's all different races here. And I have been, that's my thing, is community, and I don't understand seeing not doing that. But Tika's brother said, right, we all know the answer to every problem is the antithesis of the problem. So if you're culturally illiterate, then change that.
Absolutely.
Become culturally literate. Work on it. Ask your friends. I mean, it doesn't do any
We
good.
were talking before all of this.
You bet we
about
were.
all kind of our differences in.
And you're
even
not going to
diet
become
and
culturally
food.
literate, most likely. Now, this is my own thought. Maybe I'm wrong on asking your own race about things. I mean, what the heck?
I don't know a lot of stuff.
You got to find somebody that's not in your race, and you got to ask the questions. And I'm not
We
scared
had
of
a
looking
guest here
stupid.
earlier. What was her name?
Nikki was here.
She
Nikki,
said-
my Filipino nurse from
Now,
my old
I'm
job.
gonna tell
And
you,
see,
you know what I thought she was?
No.
See, I
Nikki's
didn't know
watching
she was,
right now.
Nikki, I love you.
Nikki's watching right now. She came in at
I didn't know she
Oxford.
was Filipino.
She's Filipino.
She's
And-
gorgeous.
and-
I'm gonna tell you, I did not know that that's what her race or what her origin, her nationality was.
Yes.
I did not know that.
Yeah, yeah.
So she says, well, Tika, my mama cooked oxtails all the time. And she knew the taste of them when she ate some of
She
my
hadn't had
oxtails.
oxtails in years. But Nikki told us a story tonight of cultural illiteracy.
Oh.
Nikki has 2 beautiful boys. They are as white can be. They don't look anything like a Filipino.
Like her.
And she was going to pick up her oldest one at school, and she had the younger one with her, and Lucas was all over playing with her. And a lady walked up to her and said, "He sure does love his babysitter, doesn't he?"
Ooh.
And she said, "Yeah, he does,
I'm the
because
mama."
that's my baby. I birthed him, and I'm his mom." And she said that's happened multiple times to her.
I told you it was a white guy that taught me their cultural illiteracy on my behalf. I was sitting there, I'm freezing, and you know, I said, well, I'm not gonna be anyway. So this guy, he liked me, blonde hair, blue eyes. seriously, like real white guy. But he was raised in a black culture though, so
A real
I don't know if that
white
makes
guy.
sense.
A real white
But he was a
guy.
real white guy. So I'm freezing in this winter time, and I drove up, and he wanted me to come out there, and I met his mom and whatnot have you, and I'm like, okay, I didn't think I was gonna even get out of the truck. I was just gonna pull up.
Right.
And he's like, get out of the car, get out of the car. And then he used to always just call me weird because he said I didn't know white and black had a sound, but he says I sounded white. But anyway, so I didn't know there was a sound to white and black. But so he would always say, man, you're weird. You sound so white. And I'm just like, you weird and I don't know what you sound like. But so he takes off his coat and he puts it around me. So I'm like, no, you can't do that. You're going to catch the flu. And he just laughed so hard. And he says, Tika, you're from an African tropical climate. You're black. You're going to get sick
You're
before
going
me.
to catch the flu.
He says, I'm European.
Right.
I can do this cold stuff. This is what we do.
He taught you something,
So I
didn't
was just like, oh, okay.
he? He taught you something.
Yeah, so culturally literate, because I'm just thinking, you know what? You're sitting there sniffling and stuff, and you're gonna be sick like me. And you know,
right.
I didn't know.
You didn't know.
There's things you just don't know.
There are
and he
things
even told
you
me
don't
something
know.
about my own self. He says, "Hey, you're from Africa. You're from over there."
That's right.
And he wasn't trying to be.
Also, pray for guidance. That's my last one on here. Pray for guidance. But you know what? And I said, Tika, don't give up on me. But you know, I'm human. I'm not perfect. There was only one perfect man, and it certainly wasn't me. Person. It's not you either. But I'm willing to learn. I'm willing to look at my blind spots, and I really recognize those the past couple of weeks as I was going through this, what my blind spots are, you know, and I'm going to dig deep. I'm going to dig deep, and I'm going to work hard, and we all need to.
Yeah, our
and
nation
we need
needs
to be
to.
inclusive. Our nation
our
needs
political world needs to. We
one
gotta
nation,
get absolutely
one nation under God. Right?
Absolutely. We got to get this together because we are fighting. I mean, can you imagine what other nations are looking at us and saying?
I know that. So our charge, I think, is to ask, how can I do better, right? How can I do better as a white woman, as a white man, as a black woman, as a black man, right? Any race needs to ask that question. Every race. This is just talking about every race needs to ask, how can I be better? How can I do better? How can I take ownership of the problem? I mean, it starts at home, like you said, it starts within, it starts in the church, it starts within.
Churches, yep.
Today at church, I cried 100% from the moment I walked in church to the moment I left, because you all know my dog died last night. Harlan died. And this is the first night that I have sat here for Sunday night service.
Without Harlan.
And Harlan wasn't here snoring or walking around, and everyone commenting, we hear Harlan with little paw prints popping up on the... And so I had a really hard night, and I have had a hard day, but I walked into church, started crying. And Romans 12:18 is what was brought up today. And it says, if possible, as far as it depends on you, live at peace with everyone.
Absolutely.
I mean, that's Romans 12:18. If possible, as far as it depends on you, live in peace with everyone. And then I went Bible dipping today while I was in church, and I love to Bible dip, and we'll do it right now. So Bible dipping is where you just go boom, and you just pick one, right? But I Bible dipped today in church, and it went to Proverbs 14:17.
Okay.
Go from the presence of a foolish and self-confident man. So leave from a foolish and selfish and self-confident man, for you will not find knowledge on his lips.
You Bible dipping found that?
I found that in the middle of church today, that right there. And I just wrote, I'm not sure who needs to hear that, but someone does. I don't know what that means, but isn't that something? We're going to Bible dip right now. Tika, you Bible dip.
Really?
You Bible dip. So we're going to Bible dip, and then I'm going to close it out here.
Here we go.
Okay.
Where are we at?
I don't know.
What is this? It's Mark. Ooh, you ready?
Yeah.
He who believes and is baptized, will be saved. But he who does not believe to and trust in and rely on the gospel of him whom it sets forth will be condemned.
Oh my goodness. You picked like the biggest verse in the entire Bible. He who believes will be saved.
I like this.
Amen. Thank you, God, for salvation is what I can say. And
this is a great story too.
Okay.
This is the oldest story in the Bible. Joke, but you know what?
So anyway, go Bible dipping. But here's the thing. We can all hope and pray for better days, right? We can hope and we can pray for less racial divide, less riots, more peace, etc. All of that.
And changing legislation.
But hope, but here's the thing.
Go ahead.
Changing legislation. But hope is not a strategy. So my charge to you all is, what is your strategy?
What are you going to do?
What is your strategy?
What is your action? What is your action?
What is your strategy? What is your personal strategy to do better? To love better, to live better, to be better.
And to educate and bring awareness. We start in our homes. Before we put our kids in bed, we have to start in our schools. We have to start in our churches. You said to me, I may not have been you, but somebody said, well, I just wasn't taught about black history.
Well, it's probably me. I wasn't taught any black history.
Do we need to get black schools and black teachers? No, we just need this to be taught. We know it exists.
That's right. We do.
And we got to quit acting like, oh, it's world history, American history. Well, talk about black history.
That's right.
And say more than Martin Luther King and Malcolm X.
That's right.
We need to get down to the root of this that we can also address the fruit of this.
That's right.
Okay.
And so, guys, we love you. And, you know, this came in the mail this week as well. Look at this sweet little boy washing the feet of his friend right here, or whomever it is. And it says, by this, everyone will know that you are my disciples if you love one another.
Wow.
John 13:35.
Wow.
And I sponsor a child in Uganda, and I have for 10 years. And this is the 10-year anniversary of my sponsoring her. And they mailed me this, and I'm going to frame it. But this is what it's all about right here. You know, right there. Compassion,
love,
and love.
And unity. I'm going to tell you, I told her a story, and we didn't know we were going to do this weeks ago. And when all this happened, and I think I've shared it with some of my patients, and I said, there was a time when there was a guy that was blind in the Bible, right? And the disciples asked Jesus a question. And I love the Bible because there's just so many stories that can fit.
That's
and
right.
so if you want a good story to read your kids, just open up the Bible. They got
That's right.
many stories.
Oh, my grandma Young said, Dani, when I was in college, she said, why are you reading that Danielle Steele book? And I said, well, because Grandma, it's great. It's, you know, it's blah, blah, blah. She goes, if you want to read, listen, we had no idea what we're talking about. She goes, if you want to read about sex, murder, drugs, family dysfunction, breakups, all of that, then adultery, then you need to read the Bible.
You don't have to believe in none of this, but they just have really good stories. You don't have to be, we don't have to be Christian or
that's right.
Jehovah
I'll never forget it.
We just got some good stories in there.
That's right.
So the story where the man was blind, and I think he was born blind, and the disciples said, hey, we're going to use words like disciples, but today that's called his entourage.
That's right.
Or his homeboys, or his crew, or his clique. So they said, hey, that guy right there, which one of his parents did sin that he is that way? And what did the father say? This is powerful, guys. Watch this. One man, that person that was blind, suffered probably with some more stuff, because the gospels say different. One may say he had leprosy, the other one may say he had, was just kind of like in the AIDS, I guess I don't know. But he had an ailment. He said, which one of his parents did sin that he was that way? And Christ said, well, I'm going to keep it real with all of you. Neither one of them. Neither did this man sin, nor did his parents. That was done for the glory of me. Because Jesus knew he was going to heal him.
That's right.
And man could never say they healed him. This nation and this issue will be taken care of. It will be healed. And no man can say they fixed it. Nobody but the Father.
God's in the center of every bit of this, isn't he?
George Floyd did not die for nothing.
You bet he did.
This is going to be resolved. We've been dealing with it for too many years. 100 years is a century, right?
Yes.
6 centuries? We've been dealing with this issue within our family. Within our nation. We got China, Russia, they're looking at us like, look at them. If we want to strike, they're weak right now. They're divided amongst one another. We got to get this resolved. We got to pluck out the hatred. We got to stop those who insist, because knowledge is power. People know what they're doing. We're not going to insult no one's intelligence. That guy, the Unabomber, was smarter than me and you put together. That guy was a genius.
You bet.
They said he was so smart. Maybe he was so smart that he got bored. I don't know, but he just sat there and said, I'm tired of being smart, and I'm just going to make bombs and put them in the mailbox. But that is hatred.
Yes.
It was a white man, wasn't a black man. It has nothing to do with black and white. Don't forget who our common enemy is. Don't be misconstrued by this. The word of God says the enemy comes to kill, steal, and destroy. He is the divisor. He comes to divide.
You bet.
He comes to kill unity.
You bet.
And oneness.
That's right.
The opposite, the half of one is what? What number is half of one? I love numbers. 0.5.
Yeah.
That's not even a whole number.
Yeah, right.
Is that what do they call it? Integers or is that a whole number?
Oh, I don't know.
That's
Don't ask
not.
me.
It's half. So we're not whole. We're not
That's right.
whole
We're not
without
whole.
each other. My existence depends on you. Your existence depends on me.
That's right. And that is a good way to end it right there. We're 15 minutes over, and I apologize, guys. And thank you for hanging in there with us. But that's right. I depend on you. You depend on me, and
Absolutely.
we do. And
We do.
I love
This is my
her.
baby.
This is my girl right here.
This is
And
my baby.
we've eaten a lot of meals together. We've
As you
laughed
can see.
together. We cried. We've cried together.
Gosh, she
Tika
good
cried
Lord.
so
This
much
woman-
one time her eyelashes fell off, and I've never laughed so hard in my life. I have a picture of her with her eyelashes hanging right here, down here.
Tell them why. Why did I cry that hard?
Well, I'm not. You tell. I'm not telling. I'm not supposed. You're not supposed to tell stuff like that on yourself.
I tell it because it's a testimony. It's a testimony. You're a good woman. So, and God has blessed me and graced me to have awesome, heart loving white friends as well as black. I'm telling you the honest God truth. I'm telling you, I've had some white sisters and brothers to do some things for me that I ain't even thought about trying to ask a black sister to do a brother. Out of the kindness of your heart. You know, you didn't have to, you're not showing me up. You didn't do that to just get some brownie points. Good God. So she comes in one day on my birthday, and God knows I was not expecting it, on top of all the other gifts that I got. And she gives me $600. And I needed it, God knows. And I did not know how I was going to make a way, but he always makes a way out of no way. He said the rocks will cry out. He's going to get his glory. Do you know he's going to get his glory? When all this is said and done, the Father will get his glory. We're going to come up with some resolve. We're going to get this taken care of. The nation is going to continue to cry until that resolve is reached. That's what's happening right now, by the way. There are still 24, 25, 26 days into protesting because we're trying to just simply get resolved. We got to get heard. It's not just black people. It's not just white people. It is us. We are people. And we got to get resolved to these laws and legislations and accountability.
That's right.
Choose to be hateful. Choose to have evilness in your core. That's your choice. But you should deal with the wages of sin is what?
Death.
Woo.
There, as I tell my daughter and my son, there are consequences for your actions and for your lack of actions.
Absolutely.
And always know that.
Martin Luther said silence is what? Betrayal.
Betrayal.
That's why we're here tonight.
That is why we're here tonight.
That's why we're here tonight.
And so, guys, we appreciate you. We love you. It's Sunday night, and we love you. And what we're going to do is we're going to answer these questions as soon as we end this. We'll go on here, and we'll answer them. But we appreciate you. And just look deep into yourself, right? Find your black spots. I mean,
white spots.
Blind spots. What am I saying? Your black spots. Your age spots. No, I was thinking I combined white allergies and black and blind spots.
You don't have to do that. You don't have to do
your
that.
blind spots. No, you need to know your blind spots.
Absolutely.
Right? Find your blind spots. Find your white allergies if you're white, and work with them.
Absolutely.
Right? And deal with them and address them. Address them. And guys, that's all you can do.
Find resolve.
You know?
We gotta find love.
That's right.
Put empathy.
But know where your blind spots are, for crying out loud.
Absolutely.
Know where your blind spots are, because I think it's huge. And many of us don't know it. You've got blind spots. We've all got blind spots. All of us do. Right? And it's just, some are bigger than others. But we appreciate you. We love you. And I'm going on vacation, and I am so grateful that I am, because it has been a hard week and a hard 24 hours. This time, 24 hours ago, my dog was laying on the front porch.
Looking like he was just being like Harlan.
Just sleeping. I had no idea he was dead. I walked up there, took a picture of him and everything, and he was a dead dog.
Now what? Oh, bless it. I'm
It
sorry.
was awful.
She's-
It was awful. It was
bless
a terrible, terrible night, and I feel like, yeah, it was bad. So anyway,
I've
we
had
love
some
you.
patients say, "What is she doing with that dog in here?" That's family.
I know, right? That's family. That's family. He's not in there anymore.
Bless
That's
it.
for sure. All right, guys, we appreciate. We love you. Right? We love you. You know
Love
what
you.
to do.
Bye. Peace.
That's right.
Okay.
Let's see what.